Yena gawa kimmenyi we wanna bara nyaga jibrini. Mamma delgi burini na gungana yena dale gara baram gungana wana be. Gawa giligim pan mara delgi. Yena gawa kimmenyi we wanna bara nyaga jibrini. Mamma delgi burini na gungana yena dale gara baram gungana wana be. I'm singing, come close to the fire now, to the smoke. This is our medicine, it's good for us, make us feel good and healthy and clean us, make us well. Dalki nyaga nyini yiri pa martelki nyaka nyura kili nyao ikima tangrata tari kuli nyura kili kima nyiti dalki tangura karinata my country, my river, my place, good country. Tari wari. This is Tari country here, Magoya Lagoon, near Robinvale on the Murray River, and this place is Toltolil in Wari. Tari is Tol, meaning the lagoon, and also known as Magoya Lagoon. It's an ancestral creation site. It's a being, and it's the ancient Murray River watercourse. This is the original Murray River flow through here. And that's why you got the cliffs. So yeah, this is the ancestral creation site. It's a part of Bunyul and Milu, creation of the Murray River by the giant cod. You know, for us this is a very spiritual place. It's a place of, when we talk about giving us, inspiring us to fight for country, fight for our water, Magoya is a place of inspiration for us and our elders and our children. So it's a very special place, and when it's full of water, it's just a beautiful place. Murray River people, our river country people, we rely on the water from the rivers, and that water from the river that flows out into the creeks and the lakes and the lagoons and the wetlands. So we rely on that water, and when there's no water there, that has a damaging effect on us, has a physical, it has a spiritual. It destroys our cultural economy, but it also destroys our country. And when you destroy our country, deprive our country of its water, its natural water, then that has a devastating effect on our culture. Because we're water people, and our culture is water-based. It's been managed and it's been diverted, manipulated, restricted, prevented from, moving naturally because of the lock and the weir and the regulators. And so it's like the veins in your body, if you go and block, a vein, if you prevent the blood from flowing to a part of your body, you're going to kill that body part. It's the same with country. And that's what they're basically doing, killing off the lungs and the organs of country by stopping water and holding it in the river for the purpose of the irrigators and the farmers to mass pump billions of litres of water out of the river to water their farms. Now, we do need farms and we do need food, but we need a balance too. We need to work in accordance with the natural environment and the availability of water.
The state of the river floodplain that we're standing on now is really a product of historic and contemporary regulation of these waterways, of the Murray-Darling Basin in particular. That regulation and that management of water has been highly problematic for decades. Partly the reason we have a basin plan was in recognition of the over-extraction and the crisis facing these rivers and this floodplain. So unfortunately, while we've made some small steps forward, we've actually also got enormous progress yet to make, and we're really facing a major uphill battle in order to restore health to these floodplains.
Cultural flows, it comes from the Chuka Declaration, but it really comes from the spirit and heart of our nations and our country and our waterways. And for us, cultural flows is water, cultural water, spiritual water. It's water for our people, it's water for our country, but it's also water for water. Because the water needs its cultural flow itself. That water needs to flow across country.
Cultural flows is a concept that traditional owners have been developing for a number of years, especially in the southern Murray-Darling Basin, as essentially a tool to identify means of establishing far greater Aboriginal control and authority over water management, especially along the Murray River floodplain here, such as sites like this at Magoya Lagoon. This particular project we're working on with Tati Tati is an endeavour to apply that concept to a particular place, to a particular country that is here at Magoya Lagoon. Out of that, what we're hoping is that we can then take this kind of case study and this kind of example as a model of how to progress the idea of cultural flows in practice elsewhere on other country, and other traditional owners might take up that opportunity too.
So, our culture is dictated and informed by and inspired by our waters. You take that water away, you're taking away our culture, taking away our future, and you're taking away our children's abilities and opportunity to learn about themselves and about their culture and about their country. Yeah, my daughter Mel, my oldest daughter, I'm very proud of her. She's very special, very strong, and she's already has a strong connection to this place. She's leading the way to get Magoya healthy again and make this wetland and this lagoon well again. And she knows that for our own spirit and our own health and well-being, it's important for her to continue to work and fight to get Magoya recognised, and for Tati Tati to get recognised.
So Magoya Lagoon here is very representative of the Murray River floodplain more generally. There's wetlands along it, billabongs. This country would, prior to regulation of the river, have flooded annually, or at least biannually. So while at this time of the year, in autumn, it would be relatively dry, it wouldn't look like this. It would be, it would dry out and then it would be flooded and it would become an abundant wetland every year. So if we're going to do cultural flows at a site at Magoya Lagoon, a site like this, really what we need to do is bring water over the floodplain into the lagoon here behind me in a manner that mimics how naturally the floodplain floods.
When the water fills that part of the lagoon up, and it gets too full and then it overflows. And that's where the fish, ancestors catch all the fish here. But there's cooking ovens in the ground everywhere here. That's what this whole area is. It's a cooking site, camping site for ancestors. And we come here today, and we come here and camp here, and when there's water here, we come here, and we come here and observe, and we come here and look at country and learn from country, and we can feel our ancestors' presence here. Now, we've been here for 2,000 generations. Been here for over 100,000 years, since the beginning creation time of this waterway. The foreigners have only been here for not even 230 years. 230 years cannot erase our sovereignty for this country. It's ours, it's our inheritance, it's our belonging, it's what we belong to, and it belongs to us. It's for us to care and maintain, to pass on to our children and our future generations.
So government has funded the whole Cultural Flows research project, which has been a really important investment in ideas and thinking. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we need government to go a step further and to provide the resources and the assistance to actually build cultural flows outcomes here on country. And that means access to water, it means traditional owner access and authority over land and over the landscape. And ultimately, the objective of that entire exercise is to restore the health of country. And that's not only about restoring the health of country, but restoring justice to Aboriginal people too. If we can develop a cultural flows program and model that applies to a site like this, like Magoya Lagoon, then there's an enormous opportunity for governments to step up and achieve real gains for Aboriginal people and their control and authority over water and on country. And one of the major important things of that is to reverse the aqua nullius that Aboriginal communities are facing, that is basically being shut out of the control and having any meaningful authority over water management, especially in the Murray-Darling Basin.
We need water that is our water. It's owned by our people, it's delivered by our people, it's managed. Now we have to prepare that water, prepare country for water, and we have to prepare water for country so that, you know, that water is healthy, it's been purified, has all that it needs in that water to be able to look after country, and then country will respond to that water. They need to recognise and afford proper respect to our people, and they need to relinquish those water back to country, back to us. Let water be on country so everything can be well again.